Well, April has slipped by, and we've hardly watched anything.
But we've watched a lot of stuff.
We've watched a lot of stuff. Yeah,
small stuff.
It's small stuff. So for example, we're watching a show. I don't even remember the name of it. You see how prepared I am? It's about a hospital in Leeds.
Oh, Leeds Saving Lives or something like that.
Right, and so
Saving Lives in Leeds. That's it.
That's it. Saving Lives in Leeds, and
it's a documentary kind of medical show.
It is. It's a reality, and it takes place in the UK. Leeds is in the UK, and what shocks Kevin and I, both of us, is that they may have free health care in the UK, which is awesome. I mean, who could complain about that? However, this isn't the first show that the first reality show that has shown this to us, that if you need to get in with a specialist,
heart surgery, brain surgery, tumors, I mean, big surgeries.
Big major surgery scheduled, they can easily, you can go in, be scheduled for surgery. You can have fasted and not have anything to drink, anything like that, and go in and them say, oh, we don't have a bed for you. Or,
but I mean, you're on a waiting list for 7 months before that.
Yes, so you've already waited this whole
for 7
long
months.
with your heart problem, with your brain, you know, going awry, and it's just amazing to me how they can just drop your surgery, and that happens with adults. It happens with children, little children that have issues going on with them, and
it's a bed and staffing problem.
It is a major problem.
Seems to be, at least based on these documentaries, because we, like you said, we've watched two or three different hospitals in different areas, and they're all having the same issue.
Yes, it's all in the UK, and this is a problem all over. So as much as I think, hey, it's awesome that they get free health care, this is the downside of it. Yeah, this is the downside of it, because people over here, if you are scheduled for heart surgery, you have your heart surgery. Mm-hmm. If you're scheduled for no matter what, you're going to get to have that surgery. I mean,
I've never heard of anybody being canceled. I mean, it might happen, but I don't know.
I think it would be very rare that would happen here. So yeah, we're paying for it, but at least we're getting to have it. Yeah. These people, some people have died before they were able, because their surgery was scheduled and then their surgery got canceled and they ended up dying, and it's like they could have lived for 6 more months even if they had had their surgery. It's just a shame. But we're watching that.
Regardless, that's the show we're watching.
That's the show we're watching. We also watched one called Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
That was good.
And yes,
it had its moments. Some of them were better than others.
What was fun about that in Melbourne, Australia? What was fun about that is, it's like I told you a couple months ago, we watched a comedy special on Netflix, and it was short bursts of people. They would get up there and talk for like 10 minutes, and then they'd be gone.
And it wasn't snippet. It weren't on one stage. They were snippets of different shows.
Yeah. This is actually, these people have planned, Melbourne have planned a 10-minute comedy routine. They go up there and then they're off the stage.
Yeah, it's all on one stage. It's one big show.
Yeah, it's a big show. I think they should do that here. It'd be awesome if you could get that many people, talented people together. What these shows are good for is to, like, you can watch all these, you know, you might see 20 different comedians, and you might pick 3 or 4 that you really want to go look at their whole special. And then you see some, and it's like, that person, they weren't that funny. Yeah, but that was a really good show to watch.
It was fun.
We also watched one, this came out in like 2021. It was called 50 Years of Mr. Men. And Matt Lucas, if you watch Matt Lucas from the Great British Bake Off, he's the one that hosted this.
He was on Doctor Who too.
He was on Doctor Who. But Mr. Men, Little Miss, what amazes both of us is that this is like the most popular, one of the most popular brands in the UK. And it's been going on since, what, the 70s. Mm-hmm.
They said it's been in the top 10 young adult books since the 70s.
Since the 70s.
It's always been in the top 10.
Yes, and they're not popular here.
They don't get them. I don't even know if they get them here. They sell them
here. People don't know about them here.
They're cute little books.
Some people do. but it's not that many people. It's not, I mean, like they were showing like little snippets from cartoons. I've never seen one of those cartoons before. It was like, oh my gosh.
They were from the 70s as well.
Yes. It really, really interesting though. A fun documentary to watch. It was neat. You got to go see the Hargreaves house, and then the collector. They showed this woman that had been collecting Mr. Men and Little Miss stuff. Yes, she had the cutest little tea set with little cups and everything with Mr. Men and plates and stuff like that. That she said she got in the 70s when she was a child, and I thought that is just the cutest thing.
I wish I had some of the toys I had when I was a child.
I know. If I could go back and do something, it would be I would keep all the toys.
Some of them.
Yeah, really. Let's see what else. We watched the movie Cocoon together.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one. And that was really good. Cute. It has Jessica Tandy in it.
You know what? It holds well, even though it was probably from the 80s. It still is a good movie. I mean, the special effects are a little hokey.
Can you briefly describe it if somebody's young, really, really young, and they've never watched it? Because that's an old movie.
Well, Tammy hadn't watched it.
I had never watched it, but a lot of young people are probably, they've never seen it.
It's a retirement area. They're all
Florida.
Older. Yeah, they're all old people on the coast.
It's not the villages, though.
No, so it's on the coast. And basically, these aliens basically come into the area, and they found the fountain of youth, basically.
Yeah, they found the fountain of youth. These old people find the fountain of youth.
Yeah, that's the ultimate story. Honestly.
Yes, and it had that Wilfred Brimley.
Yeah.
And like I said, Jessica Tandy. It had a lot of faces, though. If you watch it, that a lot of people will know.
At least our age would know.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed it.
That was a good story.
I thought it was good. And then let's see. So we watched those. I watched a comedy special myself. It was Leanne Morgan, I'm Every Woman. And what was funny is I found it on Netflix. And believe it or not, she got up there on stage, and I thought, that looks like the Lexington Opera House. Well, I'll be darned. It was the it was filmed at the Lexington Opera House, which we've been to the Lexington Opera House before. And at first, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. And I thought, you know what? She's a really good storyteller. And she tells a good story, but I hadn't really laughed out loud. And then about halfway through, I got to the point where I was like laughing out loud. So there were some funny moments, but even if I wasn't laughing out loud, I thought she was a good storyteller.
And it's hilarious because she's on her treadmill when she's watching these things.
I'm walking.
She's on her treadmill, and I'm on the computer like in front of her.
With his back
turned. With my back turned to her, and I'm playing a game or watching a video or something like that, and I just hear cackling behind me. I'm like, what is she doing back there?
Because I'm on the treadmill. Of course, he worries I'm going to fall off of it anyway. So that's what I need to be doing, is back there laughing, right? I watched a movie. This one I watched by myself. Someone had recommended it to me. It was called, last time I talked about a movie I watched called CODA. Children of Deaf Adults is what it stood for. And it was a wonderful movie. So several of you recommended I watch a movie called Sound of Metal. And so I did watch Sound of Metal, and I thought it was really good. I do have questions about it, and I don't want to bring it up during this video because it'll ruin it for somebody else if I ask any questions. So I never want to have spoilers. But I do have questions because basically it's about a guy, it's a drummer. And from the very beginning of this movie, he's losing his hearing. And I mean, his girlfriend is the lead singer in this band. And you can see from the get-go, he's really watching her. They've worked together for a long time. And so he knows her body movements and what he needs to be playing on those drums to go along with her. But he hasn't told anybody yet that he's losing his hearing. And so he ends up joining a support group. And the support group is, it's basically, what do they call that? Immersion. Like when you're fully immersed in like a French school. He is literally he gets fully immersed in this group, this deaf group. And to where, because he's an adult and they have to, he's never learned sign language in his life, you know? So he's fully immersed where he's around them and he's learning sign language and stuff like that. It was a really good movie. So I'm not going to give anything away. And like I said, I have questions, but I'm not going to ask my questions because I don't want to ruin it. But it was interesting. We've been watching Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And
slowly.
Yeah, week by week. We watched Avatar. What was it called? The Way of Water.
Way of Water or something like that.
And
whatever the new one is.
Yes, and
I liked it.
I liked it too. It's a commitment though.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours. It's 3 hours long.
It's like an adventure movie.
I don't remember the first one being that long.
It may not have been quite that long, but it was pretty long.
But Kevin asked me, we always ask each other, which one do you like more? I like the new one, but I still like the first Avatar more.
I think the first one's all about discovery. You know, you're discovering new things, and you're discovering this new race and all this stuff. The second one's more action-y. It's the first one was discovering a new, creature. And then
a new race.
Yeah, and then they're it's even like new creatures. Right?
Yeah,
right? It's completely different.
That's true.
And then you get some conflict. This whole movie was all about the conflict.
Yes,
it really was, and it was very good. There was lots of action.
It was a very, very.
It was more of an action movie than the first one was.
And it reminded me of it was. Of course, we were fortunate enough to get to go to Disney, and we got to ride.
You got to ride
the Banshee. Yeah, Flights of Passage. We got to ride the Banshee, and I've never in my life been on a ride that is so immersive, and literally this Banshee's between your legs and you feel it breathing
and everything.
And I mean, it will take your breath away to just be on this.
That's why the lawn's 2 hours long.
Oh my gosh. Like I said, I've never been so fully immersed in a ride before. And it took a lot for me to ride that. It took a lot of bravery on my part because I'm scared to death of heights. And like I said, it'll take your breath away, but it was fantastic, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's see. Then I watched Pretty Baby with Brooke Shields. It is a 2-part documentary, and if you know Brooke Shields, she starred in a movie called Pretty Baby. But it also talks about, it's very, very interesting, this documentary, because you would just be shocked at the things that they were allowed to show and take pictures. They were taking like pictures of her when she was 11 years old.
Oh, very young.
Yeah. Like naked, topless. Of course, she's flat, and you see a lot of flat-chested little kids, but now you wouldn't be allowed to do that now. You would not be allowed to do that. And then just the provocative jean commercials, and
yeah, she was a teenager during those.
Yes, she was, and it was just it was okay then. It was first, I don't know why it was okay, but at that time it was just okay. But it was very interesting, and I never realized. I knew she was beautiful, but just to see in this documentary over and over again, she was absolutely just stunningly beautiful. It was a wonderful, really good documentary. I also watched Ashley, our daughter Ashley got me to watch this one, Surviving R. Kelly. This was a 6-episode series on Netflix. And I never knew. Like, I had heard like bits and pieces and stuff like that, but I never knew the full story at all. It was very eye-opening. And then we've been watching, we finished the whole last season of Call the Midwife. And it was wonderful.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's always good. It's basically the same show.
Every single time I talk about Call the Midwife, we talk about how wonderful it is. Although it really bothers me that this season somebody that I really liked left the show.
Yeah.
And she left the show for good unless they invite her back to do because I read an article afterwards, unless they invite her back to do like an episode now and again.
It would be weird though.
It would be
the
weird.
way they wrote it. The way they wrote her out it would be odd.
Yeah, that she left the show, and I'm just really, honestly, I'm sad for the person
who's remaining.
Who's remaining. So in the show, she's married. It's somebody who's married. And so she's left the show, but her partner is this wonderful, like they're all my favorite characters, but like he's like one of my top characters on the show. And I love it when he smiles. And so I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him in real life. And I feel bad for him on the show because it's like his partner's left now and she left the show. And I feel bad. I think that's all I wrote down. Yes, that's all I wrote down for this month.
Yeah.
So I told you we're watching Young Sheldon, of course.
Yeah,
we're
Connors.
Watching the Connors. Call Me Kat. I've started a couple of things on Netflix, but I have not stuck with them. I started watching another comedian in Australia, and we're watching
Ted Lasso.
Oh, listen.
We're watching Ted Lasso.
Love Ted Lasso. Who's your favorite person on there?
That grumpy one.
Roy.
Yeah,
he's
I like
fun
him.
too. I love him. I love.
He goes, "Hey, Roy."
He walks really good.
He does. He's all stiff.
I love him. I think he's awesome.
But every once in a while, you see the little soft center of him. Every once.
Yes.
In a while. I think that's the whole point.
Yes, I love him. I think he's great. Sweet Tooth is Sweet Tooth's going to be coming back on.
It actually has all been posted as of now.
We're filming this a couple days early. We have to because I can't film everything the day before.
And then edit it and post it and all that.
Yeah, so we're filming this a couple days early. But Sweet Tooth,
it's on now if you want to watch it.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
That's pretty much all you've been watching the Real Housewives stuff.
No, but I thought something else was.
It's way on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. There's a show called Silo I'd like to watch, and that starts in about a week. Black Mirror. Black Mirror's coming back on in 49 days, so however long, whenever that is. It's like June something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We still haven't watched The Mandalorian. It ended.
We haven't watched a lot of things.
We'll get to it.
We still haven't watched The Mandalorian. We still haven't watched
Lord of the Rings show.
Lord of the Rings
whatever
show.
That one is.
And we still haven't watched not the Salem Witches. What's that? The Mayfair.
Oh, Mayfair Witches, yeah.
Mayfair Witches. Yeah, we haven't watched that yet.
The Viking show.
The Viking show.
There's so many shows.
That. Yeah, it's a lot. And I said this last month, and I'm going to say it again. I think I said it last month. Kevin and Andrew were playing a game. Kevin and Andrew are now playing a game too. One of their games was literally just came out, right?
No, we're still.
I thought this one was just released, and that's how you were able to watch it. I mean, how you were able to play a bunch of them.
Mm-mm.
No?
No, this game we're playing right now. It's just, It had a new addition to it.
Well, then why were you, like, for a whole week, you weren't playing at all, and now you're back at it?
It's a different game. We just picked a different game.
So it is a different game?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not new. It's just different.
It's not new. It's just different.
It's been out for
Are you going to record
a year and a half. No. I recorded a bunch when I first played it.
Oh, get this. I felt so bad for Kevin. I literally, if this had happened to me...
If you watch my channel at all and watch gameplay game videos...
I would have cried. If this had happened to me, I would have cried because that's just me.
Stuff happens.
Kevin recorded like hours.
It was 4 hours.
4 hours of Harry Potter, wasn't it?
It's Hogwarts, not Harry Potter, but yeah.
Harry Potter lives at Hogwarts.
But this is before Harry Potter.
But anyway, is it before Harry Potter? Anyway, he recorded 4 hours of it, and then he was going to make the video to put on his channel, which is called Movie HQ, if you're curious. And it didn't record any of the sound.
No, none. Like
none
no
of the
game,
sound.
no me talking, no nothing.
So I told Kevin, I said, well, can't you just play it and then you do a voiceover?
Can't you do a voiceover? It's like, what am I supposed to do? Go, pew, 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 and go, you know, what am I supposed to put the sound effects in there?
He said there's no sound effects, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
No sound effects. That's different because you can't, you know, make the sound effects.
When I'm flying on the brim, yeah, I could just go through there and do that.
I could be one of those people in the background doing the clump.
With the coconut.
Yeah. That reminded me of Monty Python. Yeah. So, I mean, if that had happened to me, I would have been like devastated.
Yeah. What's sad is though, if you are watching it, because I got huge numbers watching these videos. Massive numbers of like 40. But anyway, if you're one of those 40, then you're going to miss
all that stuff.
The stuff I did during that, which is one of the trials. I did one of the trials in that. So. Yeah, it is what it is. It happens, you know. Back
to TV for 1 second before we let you go. I do think it's very interesting, all the reboots that are going to be happening. So during a vlog, I think last week's vlog, I mentioned Harry Potter, Max. HBO has gone from like HBO Max, and now we're just going to call them Max. But they're going to have a Harry Potter show to come out.
Yeah, it's a TV, it's an episodic.
Somebody made a good point.
It's a TV show.
Somebody made a good point when I mentioned that. They said the thing about this that should be good is because the movies had to like kind of rush over things and skip things. They should be able to spend some more time.
The last two movies really were in depth, but before that, they really did have to.
So this should be good. Yeah. Also, they're doing a reboot of Big Bang Theory.
It's not a reboot. It's an additional like sub-story.
Yeah, we don't even know what it's going to be called or who it's going to be in it or anything. But yeah, always leave comments below, your recommendations below, because we always like to hear what you're watching, and you know, we never know what we're going to find. There's so much coming on Netflix and stuff like that there's no way we
can't keep up with it.
You can't keep up with it all. So we really do appreciate you leaving those comments below, and we will see you at the end of May.